Hi everybody. This morning would be March 30th and it's an exciting day. I'm gonna get what I'm calling phase 2 of my poolside garden done. It's a beautiful day. Compost came yesterday. Let me show you that. I'm really happy with it. It's black and beautiful. So there's my compost. And so that's what's going to be going into my garden beds today. So like I said, really excited about this and everything's coming together. So let me flip this around. Okay, it's just a little short down at that end, but I have lots of work to do on that end of the garden anyhow. So I've got this one all the way down to the end, and from end to end, this is just over 40 feet. So the first bed is going to be 3 feet wide. So that'll give me a lot of growing space. So that's phase 1. The garden fabric will go down and I've saved mulch. And then the plan is to build raised garden beds along there, which will be phase 3 of the poolside garden. Okay, next up. Okay, so I'm back out. Now this is other fabric that I have. It's not a plasticized one. And this is what is going to go under the wood frame that I have for the garden bed closest to the pool. And then it will go under the other raised gardens in the backside, and that'll just hold everything down, and I'll lock them all in with the staples, and we'll go from there. So we've already measured off the one board here, so the garden's going to be 3 feet wide. I could only get the cedar in 8-foot lengths, so gonna work on that. And then I've already got it all measured out and dug out for the first one. So as I go, I will stick the fabric underneath to hold it into place, and we'll keep going from there. Okay, so you're gonna get my shadow in here, and I can't see well. So what I have is a couple stakes in there just holding the wood in place, and now what I'm going to do is take a rebar and put it in this side, screw the back piece to it, then put a rebar in that one to hold it in place. So my beds are going to be 6 inches deep. I'm going to fill them up with compost. At the other end it'll be a bit deeper, just for carrots. What I'm trying to do is a no dig, but because it was a hillside, I had to dig. So I want to get this all out of here, get some cardboard in, and then get topsoil in. So or compost. Well, that worked better than I thought. So I've got, oops, upside down, a bunch of cable straps, 2 holes that I'm going to put around each side of that to hold it in place. Just to show you what I'm doing, I have one that is cut at 3 feet. We put it in here to get our measurement, make sure this one is where it needs to be. So that's where I want it to be. And then take the level and level it out. So that'll go right there into the ground. And I'm just going to keep doing that all the way down, putting in rebar as I go. So since I know that's the right, it's level, I will just take this out of here. Whoops. Put my piece of wood in here to make sure I keep my, and it's higher, but it doesn't matter because it's not going in here. It's just to make sure I have my 3-foot measurement. There we go. And then I'll put the rebar in and get that down into place. So we got 24 feet done now. Mom's out here helping me. So it's really coming together, so as you can see. So just a bit more and we'll have this done. So let's give it a closer look. So nice and tight there. This one I see a little separation. I might have to do something to snug it in. We'll see, but just doing our final 3-foot measurement on this one. And gonna end up with a short piece of wood, so I got to figure out what I'm going to do for the end to get that in. So we are almost done. Phase 2 is done. We have a 32 8-foot long bed by 3 feet wide. I'm just going to I'm just going to get in here and dig out a bit more dirt to level it off. It's rocky, but I'm putting really good compost down, so we'll see what happens. Okay, so I'm now ready to put the topsoil in, so let's go see where I'm getting that from. And this is my cold frame, and my lettuce is all in there, doing just great. So outside in the sun, it is 5 degrees. Let's see what it is inside. So inside the cold frame, it is, what, 14 degrees? So Fahrenheit 56. So that's pretty good. And I forgot to put the lid down until about 7:30 last night. So it had already cooled off somewhat in there. So really happy with how it's working. And my plan is today is to get all the lettuce planted out into my 3 different test areas. So test area 1 will be my cold frame. Then I will have an area that has poly over it and an area that has fleece over it. And we're going to see how everything does. Okay, I got to get busy. So I have the first layer in. I am going to put more. It is what? So it's 2 by 6s, so it's about 5.5 inches tall. The soil is really sandy and hard. So I just want to make sure I have a really good layer of compost. So I will do more tomorrow, but I'm done for today. Okay. Okay, everybody's been put to bed for the night. The cold frames are closed. We got this first part with hoops and poly, all the domes, and the last part is fleece. So this is my testing ground to see what works. And so far, I'm happy. We'll see what happens. Today is April 7th. The garden is looking great. Really happy with how it's growing. Today is the 10th of April, and as you can see, it is snowing. But all my veggies are covered up and should be fine. So that is stage 1 of our poolside garden done. And when I watch it over and edit it, I'm like, wow, we did a lot of work on that. And we have more work to do. So a quick recap on it. So I never did get vegetables planted in my cold frame. But I did have all my flats in there, keeping my little veggies alive until I could get them planted out in the garden. I planted way too much lettuce. I might plant a lot more this year again and try selling it. I'm not sure yet. We'll see how it goes. I'm going to start planting next week. I got to get my artichokes potted up and get them going, because they say they need to be started in January so that we get a harvest in the fall. So we'll see how that goes. I got a few other things that I want to get started that I can get out into the greenhouse hopefully in March. So we'll see what happens. Oh yes, you'll see the greenhouse later. What did and didn't work for this bed? What worked really well is using the edge of the wall by the pool. That was fabulous. Gave us a quick raised garden bed. We only used, they call them 2x6s, but they're actually like 1.5 by 5.5. Not tall enough, not deep enough. Our soil is just way too hard. So I've already got the cedar. I'm gonna put it up so it'll be like 11 inches high, and then have to obviously put a whole bunch of compost in there. So I'll have to get more compost this spring. I won't have enough that I'm producing myself. I do have some, and it's coming along really good. I'm really excited about that. The lettuce and radishes and things like that, they did okay. They would have done better if I think the soil was deeper. The cabbage did not do well at all, or the broccoli. It just, the hot ground underneath the compost, and I have like 5 inches of compost in there. It's just too hard. The roots just can't go through it. And then of course, oh, the good thing is weeds. I think I pulled 24 weeds. I mean, like 2 dozen weeds, that was it. There wasn't a whole lot of weeds. I do have a couple rose bushes that are trying to come back up. So in the spring, what I'll do is I'll pull back the compost, get in there with a pickaxe and dig down as far as I can to get those roses out of there. I think there's only 1 or 2, so that's not too bad considering how many roses were in there. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure and subscribe, and I will have the other one ready shortly. Take care, everybody, and Happy New Year.